It's time for the Lowco Sports Lowdown. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Araj.
Welcome, everyone, to the Lowco Sports Lowdown. I'm Max Araj, joined by Mr. Wes Kerr. Marcus Walsh will be joining us in a few minutes here. Day 3 at the RBC Heritage, move-in day. And a lot of moves were made today, especially a new leader through round 3. Siwoo Kim will take the lead over Justin Thomas after Justin Thomas had a lead through 36 holes, leading both round 1 after that 10-under round in the first round, as well as the 2-under second round for him to sit at 12 under par. He did not have the best of days today, but Siwoo Kim certainly did. But before we get into that, Wes, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. First of all, Max, just FYI, I think you've a little breaking up there in the intro. You may have to check your mic, make sure that's all good to go. But yeah, kind of surprised to see Siwoo Kim deliver the round that he did today. I thought that Justin Thomas was going to find a way to strengthen his lead. They were going, tight very early in that third round today. Both were hovering around that 1400 mark before. Siwoo Kim kind of separated himself a bit, but I was over there as the round came to an end today, and Kim was in full control, and Thomas was fighting a little bit. Although that 18th hole ended up being a huge swing, it was a 3-shot lead, but then Siwoo hit his ball just close to the marsh. It went nearly. Went into the hazard, but just barely stayed in. But he was able to chip it on, but he missed his par putt, while Justin Thomas with a huge birdie putt to bring him to 14 under after he dropped a couple of shots on the back 9 on 11 and 15, which is a rare bogey there on a par 5 15th, where we have not seen that very much in terms of dropping shots there. But Justin Thomas, that's an important finishing hole for him to move back within 1. Still a pretty solid round despite a couple of slip-ups along the way, and he'll give himself a real chance. And I'll tell you what is shaping up to be a fantastic Sunday. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 golfers within 4 shots of the lead, which is 1 held by Siwoo Kim. As you said, Andrew Novak is tied for Justin Thomas. Andrew Novak is, a kind of a local part of that we didn't really realize, but he plays college ball at Wofford, and he lives in St. Simons over in Georgia. But he went to Academic Magnet High School, which I think I mentioned maybe yesterday on the show. Obviously, you weren't there, Max. I was with Kevin Libby. But this Andrew Novak guy was someone that kind of flew under our radar, and mostly pretty much everyone's radar. But I will say this was a really nice third round for him after, we saw what he did in round 2 on Friday, and he had favorable conditions, but to do it in the afternoon like he did and to seal it the way he did, with birdies on 15 and 17, which is a really difficult par 3 to birdie down the stretch. I'm really impressed from what he has done, and I think he is an outside shot tomorrow.
Yeah, I do as well. I think the way Siwoo Kim played today, he's very comfortable on the course right now, and I think he can continue doing that in round 4. Justin Thomas, after that round 1, he shot 2 under on Friday. Didn't really do much today. He went what was it through today? He was
69
today. So puts him at.
So really, after
14.
after if you take out the 10 under 61, 69 the last 2 days, which you don't expect to shoot that low in multiple days, but I feel like Justin Thomas has been on, in terms of his game, a little bit of a downturn. He, like I said, that birdie on 18 I think was absolutely huge because he was really fighting and struggling at times. Certainly 2 under isn't a terrible round at all. We've seen much worse. We'll talk more call later on and what happened to him. So it's never easy. But I I'm not as sold as I was a day ago on Justin Thomas, even though
Yep.
I still think he has a decent shot. I like the way Siwoo Kim has been playing. I will interested to see how he reacts after giving up that, well, he still has the lead, but he was up 3, and it looked like he was gonna take
Yep.
a really considerable lead to Sunday. Now only up by 1. Maybe they'll give it a chance to kinda reset to, and, we'll see how he fares early. If he can
Yep.
withstand the couple of holes and not slip up and make any mistakes, I think Siwoo has a really solid opportunity to bring this home tomorrow. But the room for error will not be as much because there are a ton of guys chasing him right now. Most notably, I think Andrew Novak is kind of that playing with house money in the sense that uh, no one expected him to be right here at this spot. But
Yeah.
then again, there's pressure. This would be his first PGA Tour win, and for
Right.
any golfer, when you win your first PGA Tour event, I mean, it gives you so much exemption status over the next few years. It's could be a life changing win for him. So there's pressure for sure for Novak, but I think I think he'll handle it. I think he's going to come out with that positive mindset that we have seen the last few days, and if he continues to hit his approach shots like he did yesterday or really today as well, Andrew Novak was. If I can he was right there at the top in strokes gained approach. Actually, can't lay a couple of others beat him out, but still, I mean, it was pretty solid through the most part. And even his putting could have been a little better today, but he was able to make a couple of important ones. And like I said, I think he could play even better on Sunday. But will the mental side of it? Will he be in that right mindset mentally heading into
Right.
what could be
Yeah.
the biggest round that he possibly could have, I mean, it could be play at in his PGA Tour career. So, I mean, this is what an opportunity for a guy that has local roots. Obviously, I mentioned Academic Magnet High School, played at Wofford, and someone who really has the opportunity to break through tomorrow. And I think it's certainly possible for him. And it's really cool. I love his demeanor out there. A great guy to root for. The fans were loving him. We're actually originally from I believe Raleigh, North Carolina, but has recently moved to Georgia and has spent a lot of time in the Carolinas, especially South Carolina as well as his time in Georgia. So, local kid that would be obviously a massive day for him if he's able to get it done. So, when you're covering it, you can't like truly have real interest, but that's a guy I would love to see where the tournament at the end of the day.
Yeah. I would love to see him. Another name that I saw, obviously we have, a bunch of names that you don't often hear that are sitting all among the top 10. Like we mentioned, Andrew Novak, Siwoo Kim, of course, in the lead. Andrew Novak, 1 shot back. Maverick McNeely, at 2 shots back. Obviously, Brian Harmon from Savannah, Georgia, he's sitting 3 shots back at 12 under. He had another good round today at 5 under par for the day.
Well, I'm not surprised about Harmon. I'm really not surprised about McNeely. That's a guy who's had some little bit of success.
They're both very technical players as well. They know how to play the iron game really well, and when you play a good iron game, especially on this course, you're going to find success. Who else is named that we don't?
Well, we got Fleetwood's at -12. So I'll think anyone who's 3 shots back, I think has certainly a real opportunity.
Scotty
Scheffler at minus,
still has a shot 4 back.
He's a lot of work to do. Now it's certainly not out of possibility at all. If he gets hot and puts up a low number, then all bets are off. He could find a way to surge.
I mean, he did better today compared to yesterday. But the thing I would say is both yesterday and today he played in the afternoon. I think he's starting to figure out how to play those fairways and greens. I mentioned on my recap show early this morning at the media tent for the RBC Heritage that, I talked with Carl Phillips, who didn't have a great day today, but he shot 6 under yesterday. I talked with him and asked him, as you got into the afternoon, you got to that back nine because you started in the morning. I asked him, how did the course itself feel, and he said when those fairways and greens start to firm up in the afternoon, it gets really dicey when it comes to putting because those greens are so fast and it's hard to read a good putt. But I think with Scheffler, yesterday he shot 1 under through the afternoon and went par on the back nine. Today, a bit of a different story for him. I mean, 3 under for the day, so he's kept himself within a distance and small enough for him to be able to find a way to make it back. But yeah, like you said, it's going to be an interesting day for him to see if he can figure something out. I mean, through the front nine, he went 3 under through the front nine, and then went par through the back nine. 2 bogeys and 2 birdies in the back nine. I think towards the end of that round, he started to figure some stuff out. But yeah, like you said, he's got a lot of work to do. I mean, I would love to see him repeat here, but it's getting tougher and tougher. And like I said this morning, I said, if you don't make your move today, it's going to be really tough for you to make a move going into the final round because everybody's going to be
why they call it Moon
best.
Day for a reason. Is you have to put together a strong Saturday to give yourself a chance on Sunday. And while it's not out of the realm of possibility that Scheffler could put something magical together, I mean we've seen when he's been on, and we've seen that last year, especially over the weekend, that he could put up low scores in the flurry, but. With the competition that's in front of him, I think that is going to be much easier said than done as we go forward. But still, an opportunity for this would be quite a statement win if he's able to pull it off, and certainly there'll be a lot of people talking about it through the social medias and beyond. If Scheffler is able to conjure up something incredible tomorrow, not out of the realm of possibility, but I think the way that Siwoo Kim handled himself is going to give him a solid opportunity. And you look at this leaderboard; it's packed, it's crowded. Who's going to find a way to go on that run? As that front nine is going to be important because I just look at some of the past champions like Jordan Spieth in 22, Fitzpatrick, even Scheffler. They found a way to make hay on the front nine because those are where a lot of the birdie opportunities are. You look at the par fives, number 2, number 5, where you have an opportunity to make up strokes or add to your cushion, and those are going to be the important opportunities that you will have. And I mean, they say obviously Augusta doesn't start until the back nine. I kind of disagree. I mean, I think that it really obviously in the Heritage. It kind of depends on the year, but I think this year it is the real start is going to be sometime. We're not sure when, but it's shaping up to be a great leaderboard. And I mean, like JJ has said, I mean, you can't control, and Steve Wilmot has said, you can't control the weather, you can't control the leaderboard. I think you have an amazing mix of both this year. The weather has been fantastic. Should be great conditions again tomorrow, similar that we saw today. And I mean, you look at this leaderboard. You have some names that are not as well known, but you have a Scotty Scheffler in there. You have a Siwoo Kim, Justin Thomas. You have some big names, but you also have some local stories, which are always fun. I mean, it was cool to see.
Yeah.
It was cool to see Wesley Bryan in South Carolina winning a few years back. We've had some other, some just great stories of first time tour winners on this tournament. So that's always fun too. It's great to see a big time, tour champion win, but at the same time, to see that breakthrough victory for a golfer, for someone who is not as well known, is always fun to see as well. But do you expect there to be big time low scoring tomorrow, or do you think it could be around like a 16, 17 under that could take this?
I think if it does happen, it'll be a morning golfer. I think in the afternoon it's going to be real tight. Someone's going to have to play the round of their life, especially up in the leaders, because if they don't, I think it's going to come down to Siwoo Kim, Justin Thomas, and Andrew Novak for the win, and possibly Matt Maverick McNeely, all with Maverick McNeely, and then whoever's sitting at 12 under. Someone needs to make a move there. I think anything outside of that, unless someone has a miraculous round, like say Scotty Scheffler has like a dominant round 4, and I know he can, but if he has a dominant round 4, then we could be talking a different story. But I think if you want to make a move, you'd have to be playing in the morning, because I think it's been easier for these golfers to play the course in the morning.
I mean, that's always the wild card. You look at
Yep.
some of the players even below a guy like a Scheffler, and obviously it would take something incredible to move, but don't count out even a guy like Fitzpatrick Fitzpatrick's at 996 back. It would take some kind of crazy round or some other guys slip up. That's the problem. There's just so many guys above you. Even though I like Fitzpatrick to put up a good round, it just the math is tough to see him. It's tough to see him passing so many guys. I think you have to be around at least 3 or 4 back to have at least somewhat of a chance. And it's in a tournament like this where you're gonna find someone putting up one of those guys putting up a decently solid score. I mean, I think it could get to around 17, 18 under when all is said and done. If you want to win this tournament, and that would take like a crazy record-breaking score like we saw on Thursday, which is just hard to do when you're playing in the early afternoon. And even for some of those guys later in the day, the conditions are not as prominent as playing like an 8:30 in the morning, where you're able to really attack and put up good numbers. It's a completely different type of situation, and the Sunday pins are never easy. They'll provide the challenge as well.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, and before we
have a
continue on with that, we'd
Justin
like to
Jarrett
welcome
joined us from
Jarrett.
Florida.
Yeah, Daytona. Live from Daytona. Still hopping down here. There's live music rocking. We got some beach volleyball going on under the lights out here.
They go crazy down in Daytona sometimes. Trust me.
It's been popping up. But I got to tell you, I miss being at the tournament, obviously, but it's been a rare treat for me to watch it on TV. I very rarely have watched this thing on TV since I've lived here, because I've always gone and covered the tournament, and you miss a lot. I mean, when you're on the grounds, especially when you're trying to follow a group or a person, there's a lot going on around the course that you don't see and you don't know about. Maybe you see it on the highlights later or whatever, but it's cool to watch it on TV, especially sitting with my feet up, looking at the ocean, and watching that beautiful golf course on TV and knowing my buddies are there. So that's cool.
I was popped around. I was covering, or I was following Harmon for a bit. I was following a little bit of Siwoo and Justin Thomas, but when Harmon was making his run on the back nine, I really thought he had a chance to potentially sustain it, and certainly it was a solid round for him. But Siwoo really found that spark and picked up a little bit of advantage. But then again, that 18th hole kind of took a little bit of that steam away from him. And Justin Thomas, a guy who has had success in the PGA Tour years ago, and he is still a formidable player, and we've seen that, especially since what he did on Thursday was so critical for him to have a chance. Obviously, a pair of 2 under rounds, but when you have that 61, it gives you a lot more opportunities for after you get that really strong start. But it's like I said, it's going to be a great finish. We've had years in the past where someone's been running away with it. Scheffler, Sink. This one it could go down to the wire.
Yeah, it definitely could, and we will see how it goes tomorrow. Final round tomorrow. We'll get you some info on what to expect from the final round tomorrow. Before we do that, we probably should get into our sponsors. Today's show is presented by Mickelson Law Firm, our original sponsor since 2017, and our all-star sponsor as well, the official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, which I did see today. Speaking of golf, the Hilton Head Christian Academy men's golf team got a region title yet again, this time at the 4A level. So very interesting. See how they'll do at the tournament. I believe it's probably this week. If it's not this week, it's early.
It should be
next
soon,
week.
if not the end of April, early May. Skiza normally has their
Yeah.
their tournaments a little earlier than the high
Yeah.
school week.
Yeah, it should be coming up real soon. Yeah.
Yep. With that, I did see that. All right, before we get in, we do have another person that's been sitting here for a few minutes now. Let's bring him in. Marcus Walsh from WHHI is back on the show with us. Marcus, you were out there today, man.
I was.
Really? As a spectator for the first time in a while.
Talk about the experience. Yeah, talk about the experience of and who'd you follow?
For the first time since 2019, I was out there. It had been a minute.
Yeah.
And it was Sam's first time out there, so we went out and hung out with her stepmom and her dad, and saw some family. Did a little bit of networking and whatnot throughout the day. Some friends out there as well, which was great. And that's the great thing about the Heritage. I mean, it's part golf tournament and then everything else, because there's so much packed in. There are so many places that you can go kind of separately and still have an eye on everything and whatnot. But kind of like Wes, we were around everywhere, and I was actually very close to where you guys were multiple times. Just never was able to sync up in terms of, being, like I was at hole 10 and you guys were at hole 8 and whatnot. So we just couldn't quite sync it up with our schedules. But like Wes, I really had my eye on the two leaders. We even for the last hour just went to what was the Wine at 9 bar. So many concessions there now that I don't know what they're calling it, but Forsyth is still there. So many different concessions. We went there a couple of times today. Tried the Nashville hot chicken sandwich. It is off the hook. Also got a red velvet ice cream sandwich, like red velvet cookie with ice cream jammed in.
I'm feeling it.
Before you continue, obviously me and Wes have been the media tent this week, and we of course have free food. But I'm almost tempted to go and try something from concessions on Sunday.
I'll tell you what, if you haven't gotten Leopold's ice cream,
yes, it's Leopold's.
That was the Leopold's red velvet ice cream sandwich. Oh yeah, son.
Yeah. I was just
Sam got the chocolate chip cookie ice cream sandwich.
Really,
and
we got that in the tent as well.
Really good. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
If you're there tomorrow, find a way to snag one.
I had some funnel fries last night at the Jackie Robinson Ballpark. The Tortugas of Daytona took down the Jupiter Hammerheads last night.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
All right.
And I happen to agree a lot with what you were saying, Wes, about the top of this leaderboard. And I mean, JT has been on fire all week. So it's really
he had a weird day today.
He did,
a weird day.
But I mean, he's
called a penalty on himself early.
Yeah, on
I don't know if you guys caught that. Yeah, he was trying to move some rocks out from behind his ball in that waste bunker, and the ball moved, and he brought the rules official over and tried to replace it, but that rock that he had moved was holding it up, so he just didn't feel like it was in the same spot, so he called it on himself.
At least
I did see Seawood one.
At least he was
and a few other places
being honest about it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, well I mean you almost have to these days because like somebody's going to be sitting at home slowing it down and send them an email like
But
you don't want to end up DQ'd.
No, you don't.
But that's one of the beauties of the game too, right? Is the self-policing in that regard, and he wouldn't have felt good about it if he didn't call it. So, I mean that's the difference in the tournament right now. He's one back. So you hope that doesn't come back to haunt him, but that's the kind of thing that happens. So
I think he'll regroup because he's played okay in the afternoon rounds. He hasn't been terrible. He shot 2 under in both rounds 2 and 3. Both were starting early afternoon, went through the afternoon, and it's been a reoccurring theme this week with all the golfers is when the afternoon comes around, it is harder to play that course.
Yeah, and that's nothing new. That's Harbor Town in general. The wind kicks up, the greens dry out, and it gets tough.
But I was thinking going into round 3, that could be changed. I would think that some of the golfers, including Scotty Scheffler, Justin Thomas, possibly Siwoo Kim, which I think Siwoo Kim made a couple of adjustments today. I was hoping to see some golfers make some adjustments, be able to figure out those greens. But man, those greens have been hard to read for some of these golfers this week.
Yeah. Well, and they've hit some good shots that just they couldn't hold it on the green. JT had some really bad luck on 17 today. He had a really good shot in there, and he hit the sprinkler head and shot ahead on him and went off the back of the green. But he made a good save there. But
gotta be able to sink putts too.
18. That was
how windy is it there? Is it whipping pretty good? Because down here in Daytona, it's quite breezy.
I didn't think it was whipping all that badly.
Windy, but it wasn't.
But it was enough. I think it was whipping enough
to really bother and make a little bit of an impact.
Well, and the thing they all talk about is the way it swirls. It won't be blowing the same direction on any two holes. So they really have a hard time. Sometimes it's not blowing the same direction on the tee box that it's blowing at the green. That's
part of the thing of playing off on Calibogie Sound is whenever you get to the holes 17 and 18, it becomes difficult.
Even 16, a little bit. The second shot into 16, you have to contend with it a little bit, but then 17 and 18, it's brutal.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I think, if you're anyone, say Scotty Scheffler, Justin Thomas, those two have played okay in the afternoon. Siwoo Kim had a much better day in the afternoon today than he has had so far this week. I mean, he was fantastic today. I got to watch a bit of him, and he wasn't missing much today.
He was on fire.
He was dialed in. He was really dialed in. I think we're sleeping. I agree with Dane. I think we're maybe sleeping on Novak. Nobody's talking about Novak, but he's been playing some really good golf.
I was gapped him up today. I was before you came on
a little bit.
I was all.
Oh yeah, were you? Okay, my bad.
Yeah, I watched him.
Yeah, the greens are.
I watched him a little bit.
The greens are hanging on for dear life at this point.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I have another name I want to talk about too. After we talk about Novak, but first off, just a really cool story to see where he is right now. And someone with some, South Carolina connections. I talked about him playing or, being formerly at Academic Magnet High School, which is a school we have covered in South Carolina.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
And a Wofford Terrier. I mean, how awesome is that? I mean, Wofford, one of the smallest, if not the smallest, Division I schools in the country, and to see where he has come from, and not a chance to, notch that first PGA Tour win. I mean, that's just an incredible opportunity for him. He won the Korn Ferry in 2020, which was right before the pandemic shut down, but he has not found a pro win since then. He got to play the U.S. Open in 22. He missed the cut, but certainly we have not seen much, big time success from this guy. So, someone kind of coming out of nowhere in a sense that he hasn't really been talked about in recent time. Although he did finish tied for third at Valero. So, that is going to be said.
Been playing good golf. Yeah.
Yeah. He missed the cuts, the players. He missed the cut, the Houston and early this year. But and he had a third place finish at the Farmers Insurance Open earlier this year too. So I mean, when you look at his past results, they haven't been too surprising. He has two top 10s, 4 top 20s this year on tour. So I mean, it's been coming for him. This hasn't been too. If you've been following the tour, it hasn't been too out of the ordinary. But
he's a big dude. Hits it a long way.
Yeah, and that's not everything on this course. I mean, his approach.
No, it's not.
His approach has been good. His putting's been good this week. It takes a lot more, especially on this course. And what I've been seeing from him has been really impressive. And even with some trouble spots, he stayed the course. And I mean, right now he's given himself a shot. And that's all you want as someone who's looking for that first PGA Tour win. That's all you can hope for. And I mean, right now he's being given the third highest odds of winning behind Thomas Kim.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Yeah, interesting.
The thing with Novak is, I mean, he kind of reminds me like him and Scotty are a lot of like they're both big dudes with a lot of finesse in their game. Like I really like how they play their game.
Max, I have to interrupt you real quick. We didn't get that because you're crackling like crazy.
You are crackling up a little bit, but I heard you say Novak. You were comparing Novak to Scotty. a little bit. Which, yeah, you are cracking
Yeah, I
on a
mean,
little
I
bit.
think
Okay.
Novak, I
Yeah,
kept looking,
it's
the tennis
really hard to
star
understand what you're
because
saying.
someone
now?
joked in
Is it
our
working now?
group chat a
A
couple
little
days
better, I
ago
think.
about the
Okay.
when I hear Novak, you
Hold on.
think of Novak Djokovic, but yeah, this Novak
Yeah.
is here to make his own big breakthrough.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of his South Carolina ties. That's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
That's very
That
cool.
would be awesome to see him get it done. What score do we think it's going to take to win tomorrow? We're at 15 right now. Like, do we think 19 gets it done? Do you have to get
Around
to
18 or 19
20?
at this point.
19.
I think
That
18 playoff,
yeah.
19 win maybe, but it might be
sounds
19
that
playoff,
sounds
20
I'm
about
thinking it
win.
may have to be 20
Yeah,
based off of what some
possibly.
of these guys are doing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
And-
really
they are going to throw Sunday pins at them though.
Yeah,
And
as
I will say this: I'm not calling for him to win it. I'm not calling for him to, get maybe a top 3 or top 5 finish. But based off what I saw a little bit today, and again, we watched like the last hour or so there at the big station. I guess Wine at Nine again, if they still call it that. And I
Yeah.
watched Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah,
He missed some putts that would have
yeah.
easily put him a lot
He's right
closer in
there.
this thing. He
Like
is
Scotty
He's
right
right
there.
there. He's really good in the wind. He likes it here. He's a guy who's always
Yeah,
made sense to win here. And he is also seeking his first PGA Tour win, which is hard to
that's hard.
believe.
that's
He's
right.
got to be
Yeah, it
among
really is.
the be among the
Because it's
conversation
close so
now of
many
the best
times.
players without a
Fleetwood,
win, right?
yeah, kind of
Absolutely.
like that Nicholson kind of. I mean, best player not win. Oh, he was like there was a major. He was the best player to
Yeah,
not win a major for a long time. But I was just speaking of
right.
someone he has won 7 times on the European Tour. He has not won on the PGA Tour yet.
Yeah,
He lost the playoff to Nick Taylor, which was a very iconic playoff of Nick Taylor, the Canadian win the Canadian Open. I remember watching that.
Yeah,
right.
that was something.
Yeah, but in terms of Fleetwood, like look at how close he's been in major championships.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he has 1, 2, 3, 4,
frequent
5,
contender.
6, 7, 8 top tens, no wins.
Yeah.
Just
Wow.
insane how close he's
Yep.
been to. He still hasn't won one yet, which
Yeah.
not even a major, just the PGA Tour event in
There,
general.
there's a bunch of guys on that leaderboard that could get it done tomorrow. A bunch. It's going to be
Another
a
name
good
that
old fashioned shootout unless Seawood goes low.
I mean, with
yeah, but
Tommy,
I'll
which
give
could
you
happen
another
too.
name. Maverick McNeely. Do not
Yep.
sleep on
Yes,
on
dude.
Top Gun Maverick. That guy
Yeah.
was playing lights out golf when I caught him for a
Yeah, he
few
was. And
Man.
Harmon's hanging around too.
Harmon is too, man. He's
And don't
hanging
sleep
around.
on Henley.
Yeah,
There's a
but
bunch of
hey,
guys that can
Yeah.
get it done.
regarding Tommy, like Marcus said, Tommy had a lot of chances for birdies, especially down the back 9. That's a lot like Scotty. Scotty played even par yesterday through the back 9. He had at least 5, 6 chances for birdie and missed all of them.
Yeah.
And I think you're gonna, if you want to win, you got to read the greens.
Well, Scotty had
your ability.
there were some putts where he should have made some that should have gone in. That par putt he missed from within 10 feet. That's a killer. You can't
Yeah.
you can't afford to miss putt like that. It's just uncharacteristic of a guy like Scheffler, but it's going to have to take something really special tomorrow, and it'll probably have to take some other guys slipping up ahead of him.
Yeah, no question.
But the one thing about
Hey boys, I'm gonna hop out and go rejoin the fam, but wanted to pop in and say hi, let you know I've been watching and good
Sorry
work
about
out
that.
there and
yeah, sorry about
bring us up.
the mic. Sorry about the mic. I got
Yeah, your mic's still
my new
popping a
work
little
mic.
bit.
Yeah.
It's still
instead of
but,
finally put together, but it's not.
Max, we still have some more.
Yeah.
We'll give us our final thoughts about the Heritage in a second.
Seables.
We
Yeah.
do have some more news to get to. So let's shout out some more sponsors and let's talk about some USCB athletics.
Yep. Welcome back. Hudson Seafood House on the dock to the Lowco Booster Club. Great place for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. Presenting sponsor of course, Under the Bus. I don't know if there's going to be an episode this week. There'll probably be one next week. We'll see.
Depends.
Our new sponsors, Hilton Head Furniture, the Larry Satola Jr. and the rest of the Satola family, who are proud sponsors of not only us here on Lowco Sports, but also Hilton Head Christian Academy. And our newest new sponsor, Hilton Head Windows and Doors. Our good friend, Coach Barron, former head coach of Hilton Head Prep men's basketball, state championship winning Hilton Head Prep men's basketball. We are so glad to have Coach Barron and his new business, Hilton Head Island Windows and Doors, here on Lowco Sports. All right.
Well, hey, let's get to it, because guess what? St. Shark baseball team, they have life. They have life. They're they picked up a huge. They do have life. They picked up a 1-0 win. Finally, holding on for a huge victory. Well done there for the Sand Sharks. There are some games that, just got away from them. They've been playing some great ball, and the loss yesterday was heartbreaking, 2-1 walk off, where they had a 1-0 lead. This time they're able to keep their 1-0 lead, and they're a game back of Augusta for the last spot. Now Augusta has head to head, but that will make it more difficult. They'll have to essentially do 2 games better than Augusta. Augusta plays Flagler. Sand Sharks play Aiken, so they'll need some more help. But at least there is hope heading into the last series.
That's huge.
God, it feels like a rerun of last year too, because they got close towards the end of the season too.
Well, unfortunately, this time they still control their own destiny. Last time they did, because they played Aiken. It was a 2 out of 3 because they were able to get close enough. But unfortunately, Aiken is actually they're 3 games back, so USCB could also sweep Aiken. So take that back. They actually are able to pass Aiken if they get the 3-game sweep, because they're USCB's 5-19 and Aiken is 8-16. So yes, a sweep would also do the job, regardless of what Augusta does. If the Sand Sharks win 2, Augusta would have to get swept. So you really, in all honesty, you pretty much have to sweep this series. That's what it's come down to. I would not expect Augusta to be swept by Flagler. If the Sand Sharks win 2, that would be a very small probability. So it's pretty much going to have to come down to a sweep of Aiken, which certainly unlikely. But
dare I say deja vu? Honestly, dare I say deja vu? Because I feel like this has been a recurring theme with USCB baseball, especially from last season, where it came down to that series against USCB. And so this is going to be
very well
interesting, because I honestly thought sitting today, even with the win today, I didn't think that.
Well, they were nearly eliminated. That loss, that 2-1 loss, certainly yesterday, it looked like that may have been the end. But they got some help. Augusta lost a couple, and Aiken also probably lost 1 or 2 as well. They lost 2 games to North Georgia 7-6, so they got some help there. So a sweep and they're in, which is crazy, but certainly hard. That's much easier said than done against this Aiken team. But hey, Aiken's 8-16. All 3 of those games are winnable, and you're playing at home. You're playing back in Hardyville, and so it's just great to see them going this series with still life. It just speaks to the way that they are playing resilient baseball. Even though they lost Saturday, or even though they lost Friday, rather, this series for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because of the Easter weekend. But even though they lost Friday in a 2-1 game, there's still a lot of positive signs. The pitching was fantastic for the most part, and now maybe you're finding some. Maybe you're finding those guys that are starting to, because I think the bullpen was something that they've been working on, and now you're starting to find some good quality pitching down the stretch. And so, today you saw it from Ian Barnes, who got the start today, went 7 2/3, and
nice.
No earned runs, walked 2, struck out 1, but did not allow an earned run. And then Lubbers came in and got the save. That's what you need. Shanks pitched the 3rd, and he got the job done. So it's a matter of going down the line and making sure your guys are able to contribute. And I am really excited to see what can happen, what's possible with this team. And then Joe Turner the day before in a loss, quality start, not just a quality start, but 8 innings, no runs. That
I
is
was
outstanding. That is outstanding stuff from Turner, who has been a really good bright spot in both the plate and on the mound this year. And to see the way they're pitching now heading down the stretch, I like the way this team is playing. And this has been a staple of Ted Faulkner teams the last few years. They've gotten better as the years goes on, and they were a tough out late in the season.
You mentioned some names, if I can interject there, Wes. You mentioned some names that I saw in that series that I did in March against North Georgia that really impressed me. And yes, they lost all three of those games, two of the three being very competitive. And then at the end, the final game was not for the last couple of innings. I think USCB just ran out of gas. But Joe Turner, he was one guy that I was very impressed with. You mentioned Barnes. I got to see him pitch out of the bullpen, I think, multiple times during that series. Um, the center fielder, Doty, as well. I was really impressed with what he was able to do in that series. But good to see USCB, and I've said this before since calling that series, start to get some wins and really take a lot of what they've been working hard at, even going back to that series that happened in March and starting to get some results and another win or two or three and getting some help. It's kind of like what we talked about just a couple of minutes ago with the Heritage for round 4 tomorrow. You play well, you get some help. If you're not in the catbird seat, you've got a chance to make things interesting. And the same thing goes for the University of South Carolina Beaufort Sand Sharks. Really proud of what they've been able to do this year, and very happy to hear that they continue to fight and claw and scrap. And that's what they are. They're a scrappy team. They really impressed me with their ability to get on base, make some things happen, and really play a pretty good brand of baseball. Going back to that point in the season, I would just say that the real downside that I saw that weekend was too many walks and too many long innings with the defense and the pitchers, which really hurt them in crucial spots. But a lot of really good intangibles, and it's a good baseball team despite the record. We'll see what they can do the next couple of weeks. Maybe get into the playoffs, make something happen.
Yep. Wes, your mic is off, by the way. Wes, buddy, your mic's off. Your mic's muted, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, find a way to get in. You never know what can happen, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that you can find a way to get the sweep. It's just got to take the one game at a time. And now there's a chance you win 2 out of 3, but you would need Augusta, or you'd need you need Augusta to really slip up and lose all 3 in their series, which is unlikely. But you just got to keep fighting. You have a chance last week, and that's what you hope for. And so we'll see if they're able to conjure up something special. I'll be on the call for that weekend series, and hopefully it'll be great if we play some big games. Like we hope if it gets if it stays in doubt until Sunday. If they're playing for a spot on Sunday, that would be really cool. But yeah, that's exciting, and I really hope they take advantage of that potential opportunity. And just really proud and excited that this team has been able to potentially turn that corner, and that's what you want to see, playing your best baseball this time of year. And certainly wish you could have gotten a couple more early, but nevertheless, you still have a chance. So we'll see what happens. Unfortunately, tough weekend for softball. Dropped 2 more today at the hands of Aiken, 10-1 and 10-1. So we actually went wrong. Right, well, I'm sorry. Wrong. Wait, today. So I looked. Were those scores right? I believe they were. Yeah. They lost 6-2. Did they win? Unless the scores that I'm looking are not correct. Let's see. Did they win one? Did they win the second one?
They lost game 1.
They looks like they lost 6-5 and 10-1. From what I'm seeing here.
Oh, I thought they had won that game too.
Yeah, no, they
yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, I missed what happened there. They were down 5-0. They tied it. They scored 5 in the 6th. I did not realize because I saw it was 5-0, and like I never checked the final score. I checked the score of game 3.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what happened. They tied it. Alyssa Rose, the local product, with a big home run, two-run homer. Which, man, that would have been an awesome story had they come back. But good for Alyssa Rose, the Bluffton product, with a huge home run at the time. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Shaver, the first baseman, a terrific first baseman for Aiken, to go at homer in the 7th. Oh, that stings. That really does sting, especially with Rose being the local kid. That would have been a really good story, and it still is, because great to see her. I wish I would have called that too. That would have been awesome. But unfortunately, of course, I'll have to see. Turner was doing the game today, and I'll be back in the call. And hard to be everywhere at once. There's a lot going on this weekend.
It's
But
true.
congratulations to Alyssa Rose with a cool moment, though. Game tying home run when you're down 5-0. It was 5-3, and then Rose homer to make it 5-5, and then Shaver, who was great in the first game on Friday that I called, was saying again. And sometimes momentum is a tough thing. You come back, you fall short, and then you couldn't find it in game 3, 10-1 Aiken. Just tough one there. But good fight in that second game. And the first game was close too. It was 2-1 until the 6th, and then Aiken scored 4 on 2 home runs. So the games were closer than the score would indicate. But unfortunately, that means that they have a lot of work to do as well to make it to. They're tied for the last spot with Augusta. They have head-to-head, but they have to play North Georgia at the top of the table. So they're going to have to steal 1 or maybe 2 in order to make it. So both teams will be playing for Peach Belt tournament spots this weekend. They'll both have a chance to make it, but both will be not easy. We'll see what happens, but yeah, will be exciting next weekend for both baseball and softball in Hardyville, and hopefully, this softball team can beat anyone in this conference. I will tell you that. They have shown they can play well against anybody. So do not count them out at all against North Georgia. Do not. I think they have a chance.
Great stuff. I'm not sure what's up with Max.
I don't know what happened to Max. I might be frozen or something, but hopefully we'll get him back as well. We have some really good news for USV. We talked about the Heritage. I mentioned baseball and softball, but I really should have led with this, because how about the golf team is 1 round away from a Peach Belt championship.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, USCB 15 under par through 2 rounds. They have a 10-shot lead on Aiken heading into the 3rd and final round tomorrow, and they are closing in on the conference championship.
That's awesome.
Yes, Eric Rengart with another strong round of 69 today, so he's 8 under for the tournament. He's a 1-shot lead in the individual leaderboard. He's 1 shot over Nicholas Escobar of Georgia Southwestern. So Rengart has a chance to win individual championship as well. Nikolai Holman tied for 4th. He shot 70 today, and then Aaron Williams 67, really nice. So 69. Improved from a 74 in round 1, which is great to see. And then Nicholas Norman, he is 1 under for the tournament as well. So I mean, this USV team, I think now a 10-shot lead, you divide it by 4, so it's really like a 2.5-shot lead. So it's by no means safe. You still have to play really well tomorrow, but I like the chances of USCB to win that conference championship tomorrow, which would be a huge moment in this school's athletic history if they're able to get it done. And I'm sure if they close it out, we'll have a really happy Sand Shark rewind whenever we get the chance, and potentially some fun interviews with the champions. So we will certainly keep track of this USCB team alongside the Heritage Star. So a big day of Lowco golf, both at Harbortown and at the Forest Hills Golf Club in Augusta. They're playing.
Oh, how about that?
In the holy land of Augusta, the holy golf land of Augusta. Yeah.
Not Augusta National, Marcus.
No.
Not Augusta
Well,
National.
no, but still, I mean that's big stuff
It's
right
cool.
there.
It is pretty cool.
Playing on Sunday at Augusta. There's nothing.
Yeah, I
That,
can't
that,
remember what
that,
the
that, that'll get you
course
hyped up. That'll get you hyped up playing golf
Yeah,
at
it
Augusta
will
on
be.
Sunday. So
Yeah, you could be like, "Hey, Mom, I'm playing at Augusta today." On
Right.
Sunday. Yeah. All right. Let's get into our last round of sponsors and then get our final thoughts across. Although before we do that, I will say in summary, if USCB baseball is somehow able to pull it off, I'm gonna love every moment of it. All right, last sponsors. Base Hit Life, our baseball and softball themed apparel. Obviously, I'm not wearing my hoodie today, but you can get my hoodie that says "Calm Your Mitts," as well as other things at Base Hit Life. Live your best Base Hit Life at basehitlife.com. Dr. Ambrose Cole, the official chiropractor of Lowco Sports. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Reverence Wrestling Club, the official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of course, our wrestling show, the Lowco Grind. If you're a young wrestler and looking to up your game, head out to and check out Reverence Wrestling Club. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. Floor so clean, your feet will thank you. I'm glad that they're part of our sponsorship club. Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not, and that is absolutely 100% too. Because I can't tell you how many people from the Hardyville area say they go and get their haircut at Jay's Barbershop. All right, fellas. Parting thoughts. Marcus, we'll start with
Marcus,
you,
it's
bud.
yours.
All right. Want to certainly say I had a great time at the Heritage today. We'll be checking it out from Margaritaville, I'm sure tomorrow, sitting poolside
Oh
with
yeah.
some of Sam's family for Easter after church, of course. Got mass
Yeah.
in the morning and then poolside and whatnot.
Indeed.
Happy Easter to everybody.
Indeed.
Yes.
Whatever that means for you, certainly. Hope you're able to spend it with family and friends and have a great day. It's supposed to be another beautiful one.
Oh yeah.
Probably some sunshine, but temperatures in the 80s. So have a great night and a great day tomorrow. I want to congratulate the Dartmouth equestrian team. My sister-in-law is the head coach there, and they were in Ocala over the weekend, and they got the national championship. So
Nice.
congrats
Yeah.
to the
There we
Big
go.
Green of
There
Dartmouth.
you go.
The big
Very
green.
proud of the
Yes.
team, and
I'm sorry.
they
I'm sorry,
got it
Marcus.
done.
But when you said Dartmouth, and I was like, "Where is this going?" I have no idea where we have a relation with Dartmouth from. I
Dartmouth,
was like,
Dartmouth University.
Dartmouth.
Fabulous
Where is this
school. Yeah.
coming where is this coming from? That's awesome. Congratulations to her and the rest of the equestrian team for
Yep.
winning a national title. That's pretty cool. That is really cool. I hope you get some pictures with the trophy, Marcus. Send some pictures to us. Show us what that trophy looks like.
Yeah.
So we can get a understanding of what it's like on the equestrian side of things. We don't really talk about equestrian much, but it is a sport. So
And
maybe
not
one day.
only is it a sport,
It's an Olympic
but
sport.
it is not only that too. It's one that has a lot of ties to this area. You've got Palmetto
Yes.
Bluff
You
in
got
Bluffton. You've
Lawton
got
Stables.
Rose Hill that has their great equestrian center right across
Yeah.
the street
Mon-
from where my
Monster
mom
Tell you
and
what,
dad live.
when I was a
There at
kid,
the golf
I did
course and
horseback
two other
riding
places.
at the Lawton Stables in Sea Pines. I was a
Them too.
horseback rider at like
Moss
And
Creek
Moss
has a
Creek,
huge barn.
Moss Creek has a
Yep.
fantastic facility.
Yeah.
It is a big part, and we don't talk about it enough, but we really should start talking about it a bit more because there is a lot of people in this area who end up going to college for equestrian and competing in equestrian at the college level. We have quite a few of them from this area that do it. So we should
Mhm.
really keep a closer eye on stuff like that because it is,
Indeed.
like I said, it is a sport, and we should really be covering all low country sports, no
Cool.
matter what it is, and even if we have ties to it or not.
I'll see about, if you guys want, and I can talk to JJ about this, finalizing or making and finalizing through some connections. WHHI covers the polo events either through voiceover, has the contacts there. That's always at Rose Hill every year, sometimes twice a year that goes on. So if you guys are really interested, I'm sure I can find a way to to get some contacts your
It would be
way and
interesting.
make it
Yeah,
happen.
that's something we should definitely like consider talking about because I've always had an interest in equestrian and what it's about, but I've never really fully dove into it. I feel like it's something we should dive into a bit more, especially with the amount of talent we have here in the Low Country area. And
I've been to
quite a few
several
people
events over the last few years. It's definitely different, but it's pretty fun. I went to Auburn
it's
and had
different, but it's fun to watch. I enjoy watching some equestrian events.
Auburn's got a great program and great team as well. I went there to see Dartmouth compete there a few years ago. We actually saw some a couple of years ago in Europe when I was visiting my sister. We saw some different things. So yeah, it is a very fun sport to watch and definitely one that could get on here maybe.
Yeah,
it's about making that happen.
We should. I would be intrigued by it. Any other parting thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's it for me.
That's it for
All
you.
right.
All right.
Well, yeah. I mean, just tying it back to the heritage and just talking about my experiences today. It was a really fun afternoon. It was great to see just the quality of golf and to see the fans, the excitement. And I'll tell you what, I really enjoyed hanging out on 7 for a couple. I was there through a couple of groups, and it's a really nice spot with a ton of shade. First and foremost, when it's really warm, like a hot day like today, and you got to see you're positioned in a spot where you get to see the golfers walk right past you, and you get to see them just interact with the fans, and it's a really cool spot. So and then if you're on the stands at 7, you could also see the drives at 8. So it's a nice place to catch a lot of different vantage points over there. Also at 17, which I mentioned earlier, where you could watch where you have a good view of the drive, you have a view of 16, and then you have a view of the whole 17 par 3. So that's another nice spot. So just some pro tips if you're looking to find a spot to catch a good amount of golf. If you're not interested in following the group through 18 holes, there's a couple of really nice spots on the course. 9 is a pretty good one as well. If you and there's a bunch of others. They've also added stands at 4, which I believe they haven't done that.
That's right.
They did.
Yeah.
I think that was like a must for them. If they continue to have signature events, they're going to need a lot more seating at certain holes and stuff like that. So I think it's starting to become a must if they continue to do this as a signature event, which I do have. That is one of my parting thoughts I wanted to discuss, but I'll let Wes continue with his parting thoughts. Unless that was it for you, Wes.
That was pretty much it. But there was one other thing I wanted to shout out. The Patrick Henry boys that said hi to me. Just great kids, and they are really appreciative of our coverage. But yeah, I was walking into 13 and saw a bunch of Patrick Henry kids, and somehow they're able to recognize me, even though I didn't know. I know they knew who I was. But yeah, I appreciate their support and love for Lowco Sports, and can't wait to cover Patrick Henry in their spring sports going on.
Dude, the Hampton County area, they love us, man. They absolutely love us. Both Patrick Henry and Hampton County High School. We're big fans of them, and they're big fans of us.
I have a quick question for you guys.
Yeah.
How many steps did you each log in today, or have you logged in this week?
I need that for like a step counter next time.
So
I got over 13,000 today.
So I walked the course twice yesterday. I walked 1 through 18 twice yesterday.
You walked the full course. How many steps is that? If like just taking a guess, I
didn't check, but I have a feeling it's upwards of like 25,000 plus.
I did that one year.
I
did that one year.
I started off in the morning.
That was a two-leave week.
Today
at least.
Yeah, I started off yesterday with the first group, Ricky Fowler and Carl Phillips, which, by the way, that is also one of my thoughts.
We saw him today too.
I'm gonna explain why.
I almost bumped into Ricky when we were entering about 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah, I literally walked right by him. He was sitting there in his orange just kind of sitting. I don't know if he was drinking something or having a protein bar or whatnot, but I was
They do
literally
everything
walking
down
this
there.
way, and he was like right here.
Yeah.
I could have
By
peered
the
over
way,
and said hey to him. He was that close.
I didn't mention. Well, I mentioned it to you guys, but I didn't mention it to the people. If anyone was there yesterday morning, but I'll get to that in a second with Carl Phillips and Ricky Fowler. But I started off with them, walked with them through 1 through 18, got back to the media tent, sat there for a couple hours, and then got ready for the marquee grouping, which was yesterday was Scotty Scheffler and Victor Hovland. Both going down the course, and I decided, you know what, I can do another 18. Well, by the time I got to 18, my legs were pretty much gone and done and over with. And then I had to walk all the way back to the media tent. So, with that being said, I guess I'll get into my parting thoughts. The first one is we don't really realize, like, I didn't realize until we got into this tournament and the tournament started how many, like, there are more than one player that is connected to the Low Country sports area. Like, honestly, and it's regarding Carl Phillips. We talk about Brian Campbell, that he resides here in Bluffton, but Carl Phillips at one point also resided in Bluffton. Back during his middle school days here in the early to mid 2010s, he was living here and a student of Hilton Head Prep. I had no clue that was actually a thing.
Yeah,
And
how
there's
about that?
a picture of him. There's a picture of him and Ricky Fowler years ago at the RBC Heritage when he was in middle school. And of course, the first time ever he got to play around with Ricky Fowler yesterday. And I thought that was really cool. And I got to talk with him. You can watch my Mad Max Lowco recap from yesterday. I have the interview that I had with Carl Phillips after his round yesterday, which he shot 6 under for the round in round 2 yesterday. And I talked with him and asked him about the course and everything. Didn't really ask him about his past life here, but I really should tomorrow.
It was well done, Max. I watched it this morning. Good job.
Yeah, and you know, I asked him about the course and what he thought about it, but I wanted to say there was the worst part about this shot was it wasn't filmed on any media platform, and I wish I had gotten a video of it. Ricky Fowler on 15, which, if I'm not mistaken, is a par 5, or it's a par 4. I can't remember.
15's a par 5.
15's a 5, yeah.
Yeah, so it was 15. 15, he's going for a second shot. He hit his first shot on the fairway. It's in a good enough position, or at least so we thought, for him to hit a 3-wood over the trees and onto the green. And he goes for the 3-wood, clips a tree, hits that pond section, that little water section, before the bunker in the green on 15. So he had to take a drop back in the pine straw about 80 to 100 yards out. And so he took the drop shot. Now he's shooting for his 4th for a birdie. Hits the shot from about 80 to 100 yards out, one bounce and into the hole. And I sat there and watched as it all happened. And I just thought, man, that is one of the better shots I've seen on this course ever. I have never seen anyone try to hit it. And we're talking pine straw as well. He had to hit it out of the pine straw from 80 to 100 yards out, and one bounced it into the hole. And I was like, wow. If that's not Ricky Fowler, I don't know what is, man, because he figures out ways to make a golf course interesting. So I thought that was really cool. And it was really great to walk with those two yesterday morning, just to you know.
And Rookie's been around there for a while. I mean, back decade plus, where Ricky Fowler's been around here playing golf in our town, and certainly has grown a lot.
He's grown a lot of players. Free shirt from yesterday, man. He had the lemons on.
He's vibing for sure. I'll tell you what else before we go. You know, I always love to overhear some funny things at the Heritage, and a lot of situations where fans are asking, how was he able to make this shot, or how was he able to hit that drive or stick it so close to the green, and
the only other I would say the only other shot that I've ever seen in my time of being at the Heritage, either as a spectator or of course as a media personnel, was my first ever Heritage in 2014 when I saw Matt Kuchar hit that bunker shot off of the 18th to take the win for the tournament.
I will say what I was going to say was something funny that I heard. There was a conversation about that, and it was like, oh, well, that's why they're here. And someone said, that's why I'm here. So
Yes, that's right.
That's right.
That's
someone
why
trying to
we're
flex
all
their
here.
game
I
or
mean,
just
honestly,
make a joke. But no, I there's some funny
it's
there
truth
there.
in
I'll
it.
tell you, there were some interesting chants being said on 18 today. The fans were Saturday's a rowdy day, so you really
Sunday's
it's
gonna be interesting.
Sunday's interesting, but Saturday's a rowdy day. Fans were getting hyped. They were getting into it, and especially once we got to the last few groups, you can see why there were a lot of just craziness happening in the gallery, which is what you would expect
Right.
like that. But and then one more shout out to the kids in the audience because the chicken jockey from the Minecraft movie made it to Harbortown, or at least the mention of the chicken jockey.
Yes,
So
I saw that.
over
I
on the
heard it
17th.
too. That
Yeah,
was hilarious.
yes.
Um, uh, I do have, if I can find it, I do have one more parting thought.
Before you get to that, Max, one quick
Yeah.
question. You were mentioning 14 with Matt Kuchar chipping in on 18. Was that the
Yeah.
year that did he and Jim Furyk were they like in a playoff or
No,
was that down to
no.
the wire?
I
That
think
year,
what
am I
you were
getting that right?
talking
him
about.
and it
Are
was
you talking about the one where someone admitted that they committed a penalty, and then Furyk? I know I remember
I
that year.
can't remember.
Yes,
But it was
yep.
2014 was Kuchar.
14 was the
Furyk won in
Kuchar bunker shot.
2015.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, Furyk won in 2015. Kuchar was battling
Must
Luke
be 15
Donald.
that I'm thinking of.
Kuchar and
Okay.
Luke Donald were tied with Kuchar going into the 18th, and he hit that birdie shot out of the bunker to take the one-shot
Yeah.
lead and win
I
for the
think
tournament.
Oh, that was the one that you were at with the Kuchar bunker shot, or
Yes,
was that Libby? One of you two. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
there for that
Okay.
one.
Okay.
I think it's 15 that I was thinking of
And
with
then
Jim
Okay.
Furyk.
next year, Jim Furyk won it,
Yeah,
but I can't
Furyk won the
remember.
playoff that he beat Kisner
There
that
was
year.
something that went
Kisner,
down.
that's it. I was about ready to say it was either
Yeah,
Kuchar or
Kisner,
Kevin
that's
Kisner.
right.
It was Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I was
I do,
definitely
yeah,
there
I
catching that
remember
in
that.
15 for sure.
Yep.
I remember that very well.
What was the other thing? Do we have? No, we don't. But I assume it's going to be the same as per usual. I cannot find my parting thought. I guess I'll have to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, well, that's all I got.
Yeah, so I think yeah, we did both see Kuchar in 2014. So
before we go,
I was there, but I left before that.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
happened.
go ahead, Wes.
Who do you think's taking it tomorrow? We had our original picks, but who do you think will take it tomorrow? Now that we know where everyone is at.
Who did I call you? Who did I call to win it?
I never
Who did
remember.
I say? Oh, Shoffley.
Morikawa was out of it. Morikawa had
Yeah.
a quad bogey on 13
Oh,
today.
dude, I saw
Yeah.
that. Oh, that was
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah, I picked Shoffley. That's definitely not going to happen. Marcus has got the best possible outcome right now.
Scheffler's still alive.
Yeah,
It's
Scheffler's still
certainly
alive. This is tough. Because they're all so close together too. You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb, and take Brian Harmon for the win.
Ooh.
I think he can have a great round tomorrow. I was debating between him and Scotty Scheffler. I think Scheffler could have a good round too, and he could definitely win if he finds like some pure dominance in the iron game, which is what he's known for. But I think it's Brian Harmon's time. I think he needs. I think he deserves to win an RBC Heritage finally. I think it's time for a local man to win the tournament because I don't know anyone.
Yeah.
I don't think if anyone from our area has ever won the RBC Heritage, and the closest
No,
it would be Brian Harmon.
Brian was from South Carolina, but he wasn't. He was
Brian-
from Columbia or somewhere else.
Brian Harmon and Wesley Bryan.
Yep.
Those are the two closest we've had. And we've had numerous people from South Carolina, including, if I'm not mistaken, Dustin Johnson, I think has played at the Heritage before.
Yeah, he won I think he won in 2020, didn't he?
Did he win the Heritage?
I think he won in 2020, the COVID year.
Right. Yes, he did. That's right.
That was 2020 Heritage. That was Webb Simpson won it that year.
Oh,
Webb
that's
Simpson
right.
won
Webb
it.
Simpson, who's also
Yeah.
from South Carolina.
Has Dustin won it?
Dustin Johnson, I don't believe he has.
I don't think he has.
I don't believe he has.
I don't think
No,
I think it was Webb
No.
Simpson that I was thinking
no.
of,
Simpson
who
won
is
it
also from
when they
South
played it in
Carolina.
June. That was Simpson who won it. He shot like a crazy score
Yeah.
because of the conditions.
Oh yeah,
were a
dude,
lot
he went
different.
nuts. He went
Yep.
crazy on the course that
I
year.
think he had the record. I think he broke the record, but like it was obviously it was played in June and not April. So
Right.
yeah, a bit of a different time, but that was really the first tournament where everyone was there for it.
right,
Not
because it was the
spectators, but
second tournament back
golfers.
after
And
they
then I think
restarted.
like we mentioned the other night, like when that happened, I think golfers started to realize, oh, I really like this course. Why haven't I played
Right.
here as many times as usual as I should be? You know, and I think at that moment when I bet you when they were talking about putting together signature events, I bet you they asked the PGA Players Association, what's a course you could think of that you would want to have a signature event at? And I could guarantee you half of them, if not 3/4 of all the players in the Players Association, all said
Right.
Harbor Town Golf Links. Because
Yep.
I can't tell you, there's not been a single golfer that's played on this course that hasn't loved the course just because of the technical aspect of it and how much of a challenge it can be at times. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Brian Harmon to take it. But I just feel as if Scotty Scheffler's got something cooking for tomorrow, and it could possibly happen. But Marcus, go ahead, take it
Go
away.
ahead. You got.
I am going to say, and I don't mean to like hedge my bet here. I'm gonna say either Scotty Scheffler, who was my original pick, or Justin Thomas.
Yeah.
Because JT has had, despite having some weird stuff happen today, he's still right there, and he has had a terrific week overall.
So yeah, like you
I mean,
said, he's been in really
Scotty
I think
can
that's
come
the gut
back
pick.
and
I really
get it
I really
done,
think
but
Thomas is the gut pick at this point.
Yeah, I would say
I
this though. I would say this. There are two things I want to say regarding that. Compared to last week with Justin Thomas, where he really struggled at Augusta, he shot 2 over and didn't have a round below 70 that entire tournament. I want to say this, even if he doesn't win tomorrow, this is a week he sorely needed. A really
no
good
kidding.
week of golf.
You're right.
He sorely needed this.
Yep.
The other thing I'm going to say is this. When he took the lead, when he had the lead through round 2, it was the first time he had a 36-hole lead since the 2022 Farmers Insurance Open.
Wow.
After that 36-hole lead,
been a
he finished
while.
tied. Yeah, he finished tied for 20th at the end of that tournament.
It really
I
has
just
been a
want to
while
put
for
that out
Justin
there.
Thomas
I don't
because
think
we
that's
had
going to happen
I
again.
remember
But I
back
just
in the
want to
late
put that out there.
2010s, he was winning left and right, or at least he was in it. He was winning major championships, and yeah,
Well,
it
he was
has
the
really
number
come
one
a
golfer in the
little
world at
apart
one
for
point.
him. So this is a
Yeah.
huge bounce back opportunity, and we've seen this with guys before who have gotten rebound opportunities by winning a tournament like this, and so I could definitely see that, and I think the gut pick is Justin Thomas. But you know what? I want to have a little fun here, so give me Andrew Novak. Andrew Novak is going to win the RBC
That's a
Heritage.
good one.
Going
I
on the
will
limb,
say-
going with the local guy or another local guy. I like the way he's playing. He has the underdog mentality. He's playing some terrific golf right now. And it's I feel like he's had the consistency you need to win here. I'll say he gets done in the playoff. I'll say it's a dramatic win for yeah.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
I would love
Yeah.
to see a playoff at the Heritage. Oh, God, that would
That'd
be
be
fun.
fun.
Especially with this field.
Yes.
Before we go, I was about to say when Marcus was making his pick, and I was thinking about his picks, and I remembered that he chose Colin Morikawa as an underdog. I was about to yell out to Marcus, for God's sake, don't pick Colin Morikawa to win it tomorrow.
No. That went out the door today.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Unfortunately
with that
for him.
quad bogey, dude. You know what the
That's
funniest thing is?
that's what the sports can do to you. You have one slip up, and that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Players
The funniest thing is, after that first round, on. Let
Well,
me think.
he was great on
Thursday.
Friday, but then he kind of slipped up. He wasn't. I didn't like the way he was playing earlier today, and then of course he did himself in with that quad bogey. So that's we've seen that from him before, and you know sometimes it just doesn't go the way you want it to, despite the fact that you've been playing some better
Right.
golf this year.
Yeah.
That it's hard to win. It's hard to win on the tour, and it's sometimes you have that slip up that can unfortunately hurt your chances. But for uh, for a bunch of these guys, it's been really cool to see the depth and guys that we didn't expect, because that's what makes it fun. I and the local connections with guys like Brian Harmon, with guys like Andrew Novak, and even the guy you got to interview earlier, uh,
Carl Phillips.
Max. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
fun of it. We
Yeah.
got we've covered Bryson Nimmer in this term before, which is a lot of fun. Just seeing
He was
the
actually there today, by the way. This
oh cool.
morning at the media tent, I walked in, and there's
Oh
Bryson
awesome.
Nimmer standing there
Oh wow.
Oh, nice.
with his wife, I
Sweet.
believe. His wife is newlywed. I believe they are.
Riley.
Yeah. I don't know. Are they married, or they're still
Yeah.
engaged?
They're
Right?
no,
They
they're
got
married,
married.
and
That's right.
she's
They got married.
about ready to have their first child
Wow.
in a few
Oh,
months.
wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Awesome.
Big deal
Yeah,
for
yeah.
them.
Yep.
Sorry. We got off topic there. I would say this. The funniest thing is, it's going to come down to everyone's putting game, because I think that because all of them have had pretty decent approach shots through the tournament, especially in the
Yep.
afternoon. They've had some pretty
Mhm.
decent approach shots. It's the putting game. Those greens have made some issues for players this week, especially some of the leaders. And so I think tomorrow it's going to come down to who putts the best. Whoever putts the best is going to be the winner of this tournament. So I'm intrigued to see how that goes.
And that's exactly why I mentioned earlier about Tommy Fleetwood, because I saw, especially in that last hour that we watched, again, I don't expect him to win it, but in that last hour that we watched outside of the ropes, he was missing putt left and right, and
Yeah.
it hurt him. So you got to make your putts, got to get out to a fast start. That's for all the guys tomorrow.
Yep.
And again, I talked about it with JJ because he mentioned the question, what number will it take tomorrow? I think it's going to take 20, 21 based off of what we're seeing right now with, the leaders already in the teens. It's going to
Yeah.
be some high scoring action by the end of this tournament come the end of tomorrow.
I think so too. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes Sunday, like I said, Sunday pins are tougher, and you don't see those. I feel like I agree with JJ. I think 18-19 is gonna be that range, but we'll see. I wouldn't
Yeah, we'll
mind
It's going to
if
be
it was
fun.
scores. Yeah.
And I guess both me and Wes will be out there tomorrow throughout the day. We'll be there for the final round on Sunday. If you're there, come say hi to us. I'll probably be on the course. Wes will be somewhere on the course as well. So if we see you, come say hi to us. Give that a big 1L at us, and we'll 1L you back. Kevin Libby's going nuts with this with the comment section right now. He's definitely had a couple drinks.
Yeah, I think that
Tonight.
means
So with that being said,
Yeah.
before
He's
it
been
gets a little
dancing.
bit
He
more
feels
out of
good
hand,
tonight.
like, he's going crazy with this, dude.
We
Shut
love you,
King.
Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin is the best. All right, I think that with that being said, that's going to do it for us. We'd like to thank all our sponsors for being here, supporting us, continuing us to help us go and grow. We'd like to thank you, the viewers, for continuing to watch us and continuing to have us as your main low country sports coverage. I appreciate you guys for continuing to call us out. I've had a few people over the week at the Heritage say hi to me as I'm walking down the course with some of the golfers, and it's great to know that people actually know who I am. So with that being said, that's going to do it for us. Thank you everyone for watching. For Marcus Walsh, Wes Kerr, and Max Raj, this has been the Lowco Sports
Don't
Lowdown.
forget about
And
JJ.
And JJ, good Lord, I'm forgetting him way too often these days. And Justin Jarrett as well for hopping in live from Daytona. This has been the Lowco Sports Lowdown. Until next time, go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and owcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.